All right, time for more double dipping. We are starting today with number lines. We're actually got three number lines on our slides today. I haven't given the math TCAP test in about 8 years because I've not taught math in that long. I've just been an ELA and social studies and science teacher. So I'm not sure, but I have heard that there's a lot of number lines like these on the TCAP with fractions and decimals. So we need to make sure we know where to put them. The big thing is knowing what the number line represents. So we're going to practice that today. So if you look at letter A here, we see a little mark way over here. And so we are expected to know what that mark represents as a decimal and as a fraction. So first off, let's look and see how this number line is divided. That's always the first thing you need to do, see how it's divided. And we see it's divided into tenths. 1/10, 2/10, 3/10, 4/10, 5/10, 6/10, 7/10, 8/10, 9/10, and of course 10/10 would be 1, wouldn't it? But it's also divided into hundredths because between 0 and 1/10, we have 10 marks. So it's also divided into hundredths. So this would be 10 hundredths, 20 hundredths, 30 hundredths. Let's keep going until we see where that mark is. 40 hundredths, 50 hundredths. It doesn't get to 60 hundredths, so let's back up 50 hundredths. Now let's count by 1 as we count the hundredths. 51 hundredths, 52 hundredths, 53 hundredths, 54 hundredths, 55 hundredths, 56 hundredths is what this line represents. So letter A, I'm going to look at letter A down here. 56 hundredths is a fraction, looks like 56 hundredths. As a decimal, it looks like 56 hundredths. All right, so for B, find out what that is. It doesn't even go to 1/10, does it? So this is less than 1/10. You have to count the hundredths and see where it is. Part C, it's a little more than 8/10, isn't it? A little more than 80 hundredths. So I'll let you find that. Just put the slides, put the cards on the pictures right here. All right, the next one. We're not going to do this one. This will not be on your slides. I meant to delete this slide. Let's just go ahead and do that. Boink. It's gone. I didn't mean you had to draw the lines, and I didn't want you to have to do that. This one, we're matching the fractions and decimals to the pictures. We've got some holes, 1, 2, 3 holes, and then 10, 20, 30, 31, 2, 3. So I've got 3 and 33 hundredths as a fraction. It looks like 3 and 33 hundredths. As a decimal, it looks like 3 and 33 hundredths. So you've got holes and hundredths. So make sure you find the correct ones down here and put the cards up here where they go. And then we've got some more number lines. And I don't have my glasses on. Those little lines hurt my eyes, but I'm trying to see them without my glasses. So there we go. This time, let's see what it says. Draw a red arrow. Drag the red arrow to show where it would be on these number lines. So this time we've got to plot it ourselves. Okay. So 77 and 74 hundredths. So 7, 10 hundredths, 20 hundredths, 30, 40, 50, 60. So here is 7 and 70 hundredths, 71, 72, 73, 74. So we take an arrow, one of these arrows, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's where 7 and 74 hundredths would be. Right there, okay? So they do 13 and 15 hundredths the same way. But this one, we've got 1 and 68 hundredths. What's that between? Well, it's more than 1, so it's between 1, but it's less than 2, isn't it? So it's between 1 and 2 on a number line. 1 and 68 hundredths, let's count by 10. 10, 20, 30. I want to go ahead and give an arrow. 30, 40, 50, 60, and let's go over 61, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, and 68 hundredths would be right there. All right, so you do those two and figure out what 9 and 32 hundredths would be between. And then our last slide, Word is putting it on a number line, except you got to write it in word form too. So 8 and 46 hundredths is going to be, how many tens do we have? Well, we have 0 tens. We have 8 ones. We have 4 tenths. And we have 6 hundredths. And we're going to write that in word form. Will look like 8, well, 8 and 46 hundredths. We're between 36, 26, 56. We put the little hyphen between the 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 and the next number. Okay. 8 and 46 hundredths. Do these two that way, and you'll have these slides done. I'll let you get started. If you have any questions on it today, be sure to ask me in the meet. Okay. We'll see you then. I didn't spell hundredths right, by the way. Now we'll see you then.